Hello, dear friends. I spent many years not writing everything I thought, so as not to lose my professional reputation. And I was still considered a bit weird, until one day I decided to throw it all away and study to be myself, no matter what anyone thought. At first, I was the voice preaching in the wilderness, but little by little I found new readers and friends. Opinion piece. Lose your reputation. Your truth is your power. Some will walk away from you. Some will scoff at it. But you will find new friends. Others will find you a single strange. Some will gossip about it. They don't understand the higher values. The darkness has to come to the surface. Donald Trump announced that JFK Jr. is alive. Let's start. Lose your reputation. Let it go. It has no power over you when you own who you truly are, when you express your truth in a way that is authentic to you, according to Jennifer Crockett. Reputation is the prestige or esteem in which someone is held. Humankind has been trained to value power, prestige, wealth, stability, success, image, and beauty, but only on a superficial level. Value is placed on appearance, not substance. The 5D world operates in a completely different way to the 3D world. The rules that work in 3D limit you in 5D. The principles thus underpin 5D reality make no sense to 3D thinking minds. Almost all of you will feel that you are losing your reputation as you release the 3D ideals that created your 3D identity, the ideals that created your value in the 3D world, the ideals, the characteristics that you made into your identity were your armor, your shield. But now they are holding you back. The truth of who you are is infinitely more powerful than the image of who you portray. One has substance, the other does not. One is the truth, the other is a projection. If you fear being judged, you may be surprised how many people will be inspired by your acts of courage and truth, by your willingness to be honest about who you are. Your truth is your true power. Your truth has a pure resonance that even the most man can feel. Yes, your reputation, that false construction of who you thought you should be, will be shattered, and it will be replaced by the power of your truth. Some will turn away from you, but know this, it is because they are too afraid of the fragility of their image to be in the company of truth, of true self-expression. Let them go for now. Some will gossip about it. They are trying to understand how to bring the power of that authenticity into their own lives. Some will scoff at it. They are trying to reinforce their own three-dimensional identity, the image or hologram of who they think they are. They fear how unsatisfying their 3D person is, because it doesn't flow from the truth of who they are. It is expression of the programming they endured. Reset News. By the evening of Saturday, 19th November, the remaining US troops had withdrawn from Iraq, after which the new Iraqi dinar exchange rate was published. The following day, on Sunday, 20th November, Donald Trump announced that JFK Jr. is alive and would be his running mate for vice president in 2024. Trump has returned to Twitter, although he will prefer to use his social network Truth. On Thursday, 17th November, The portals of the BRICS nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa were activated in the quantum financial system. That meant that the dollar and the euro would have zero value right now, but they are artificially retained in the market so as not to cause chaos, according to Charlie Ward. All bank accounts in the world will be automatically converted to the QFS system. The QFS is completely independent of the existing centralized system and makes all other transfer systems obsolete. Every QFS account worldwide will be the sole property of the account holders, not of banks or governments. The purpose of the QFS is to put an end to corruption, usury and manipulation within the banking system. Central banks are losing credibility. Central banks, in their fight against inflation and other economic problems, have taken sharp and controversial actions despite the potential adverse effects on investors and society at large, who are losing credibility with them, according to Yahoo Finance. Output falls in October in 12 of the 14 sectors of the UK economy. Texas Governor Abbott declares Joe Biden, in quotes, in violation of the Constitution for opening the border with Mexico. Americas. Mexico commemorates its revolution with a parade in the Zócalo. Ecuador's president announces new measures to dismantle drug trafficking mafias. El Salvador residents urged to be on alert for explosions at Chaparrastique volcano. President Bolsonaro announced that he will request the annulment of the recent elections as the results could not be validated. Protests continue in Brazil when the Department of Children's Services tried to take some of the protesters' children. Other protesters intervened and prevented the child's abduction. Rumors of war. General Milley says a Chinese attack on Taiwan would be like Ukraine. The US will deploy more than 100 unnamed vessels on the Persian Gulf by 2023 as part of a regional effort against Iran. Former Japanese Prime Minister Yoshiro Mori publicly accused Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky of causing suffering to his fellow citizens. Iraq accuses Turkey and Iran of violating its sovereignty with attacks on Iraqi territory. Turkey attacks Kurdish targets in Iraq and Syria after the bombing in central Istanbul that killed 6 people. Russia. Gas pipeline explosion near St. Petersburg in Russia. In quotes, firefighters and rescuers are extinguishing a fire that broke out as a result of an explosion on a gas pipeline between Bergandovka and Kovalevo, said Governor Alexander Drozdenko. Russia did not fire 2 missiles to destroy a dangerous tractor and its trailer in Poland. I wonder what was in that farm trailer. Deadly potatoes, banking contest recipe. The destruction of the pipeline removed the option for European nations to seek peace with Russia and enjoy the flow of gas again. This was done to force Europeans to support the war against Russia. Russian scientists, with the support of colleagues from abroad, have made a step forward in the creation of effective anti-cancer drugs. The experts succeeded in obtaining substances that will make it possible to shut down a special enzyme in the composition of cancer cells, telomerase, which is responsible for their immortality. Messages. The Creator's Writings by Jennifer Farley. Take some time and think about this. There is an accumulation of miracles in your lives, so subtle, so minute, that you barely notice it. Then, at the precise moment when you are ready to experience the full force of these miracles, there will be a shift in consciousness, and you will often be amazed at how it was lost before. The universe no longer needs a burning bush to get your attention. You are that burning bush. Juan Osabin, in quotes, when you do intelligence work, there are a lot of things that may not look good to people. You think this guy is a bad guy, but to play the part, you have to look like a really bad guy, and therefore you have a lot of people who may not be the bad guy you thought they were. Conversely, a lot of people you think are the good guys aren't either. So you have to dig a little deeper, links and chains. In a captured operation, you take a group of people, a chain of people, and you only know the person above and below you. Puffness said, "The darkness has to come to the surface before the light can win. Be observant and wait for the next shoe to drop. I know many of you doubt this, but you can be sure that the show will come to an end. Take a step back, be objective, drive in a straight line towards your goal, and stay away from the politicking." As the film continues, an extraordinary media attention dominates the population. The truth continues to drive awareness and awaken more and more of us. It is not easy to assimilate such truth when you are lied to all the time to the point where the truth is not credible. The cognitive dissonance experience prevents many from ever considering that they were deceived. People don't like to be fooled, let alone admit it. So, while the US and other countries are caught in the political morass, we see the project site is being built and technologies are advancing that will mean much to humankind and its evolution. The stars are calling, but we have to clean up our planet. Clean energy is crucial to this, of course, and transportation needs are first and foremost in people's minds. Anti-gravity technology and magnetic power are in our future. Interestingly, Russia seems to be the first country to publicly announce the beginnings of this future technology. Their air taxi concept is very interesting and has taken a lot of thought to develop. Imagine it with anti-gravity propulsion. It is on display at the Robotics and High Tech Congress in Dubai. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.